Okay. What you will remember is that science is pretty valuable when it comes to natural resource management. That we need that information. If we have a problem in the veld, we need to determine what the causes of that problem are. Then we can use the scientific method to actually do that. Okay? So, where do we start with the scientific method? What is the very first thing that we need to do if we want to do a scientific experiment or we want to investigate something scientifically? We need some kind of a question or some kind of an issue that brought up this thing. Okay? Let's say, Gabby, we take one of your examples. Let's say all the allodichotomy, all the pivot trees are suddenly starting to die in the canyon park where you are. Okay? Then we need to know, well, why is this happening? Okay? And we might have some idea about why it's happening. Okay? So a research question, ooh, that you mustn't be there. A research question would be something like, why are the allodichotomers dying in that particular site? Okay? Or your hypothesis, you might have some idea why they're dying. Okay? Gabby, why would the allodichotomers be dying in the canyon park, for instance?
Maybe because rainfall.
Okay, so you could say that as a research hypothesis, the allodichotomy are dying because of prolonged poor rainfall. That would be your hypothesis, right? And then you would have to either prove or disprove that hypothesis. Okay? And that goes on to the next step. And the next step is we have to design an experiment, or we need to design a set of observations that we go and do out in the field. It's also like an experiment, really, to actually do that. Okay? In terms of that example, what might we do in terms of an experiment? Anyone? We're all camera shy this morning, that's why. Anyway, okay, let's say we need to first go and determine if they are actually all dying. Okay? So we will go out and do a survey of those allodichotomy of a large sample size and look at the health of those trees, also the ages, obviously, because that will tell us as well, are the young ones and the old ones dying, what's happening like that. And part of our experiment would also be to look at the rainfall patterns over time. Is the rainfall actually getting less? Are you all with me at this stage? Okay, so that's your experiment. Then you go out and you conduct that experiment. And after conducting the experiment, we have to compare the results of that experiment to our original question or hypothesis. Does that validate or disprove what we were saying? Are we finding, well, actually the allodichotomy are not all dying. There are a few individuals that are dying, but they are the big ones, so they're the ones that we see. The best, so that's the fact. Or we would say, well, rainfall has decreased significantly over a number of years, and the allodichotomy health is decreasing, and therefore we can validate our hypothesis. And those are the conclusions that we then draw from that. We would say, right, we've concluded the allodichotomy are dying. We've concluded rainfall is dropping, and that there is a link between them. Okay? But then we need to go and provide recommendations to our natural resource manager, to the park managers out there. Well, what can we do about it? And that's what the scientific method will then do to it. Right? What you will also remember is this part. I can use this. The scientific method of doing it are these blue steps. Okay? But we also looked during the course of the semester at the scientific document. Okay? A scientific manuscript or a research article. So don't get confused between the two. Right? That is the method. But how do we write this up? Well, we write it up in the form of a scientific document, manuscript, or article. And that means we have an introduction, which includes all our research about that, how we found out that it's a problem, what have other people found, basically. Designing of the experiment, that's your materials and methods section. Then your results, you write up your results there. And then you have a discussion and conclusions, okay? Actually the other way around, discussion first and then you conclude. Your discussion, this is my results, but a neighboring guy also did this experiment and he found this, so it actually corroborates what I said, you know, that sort of thing. And that is your result, your discussion and conclusions, and then you can write up the recommendations as well in some cases. Some cases in the discussion, the recommendations are sort of a subset, a last section of that. Okay? So have you all got the difference between the scientific method, which is the blue steps, and the format of a scientific article, which is the yellow steps? Is that okay? Okay. Can I step off this one? Good.